I was given the beautiful role of making fun of Sydney, which I do on a normal basis every day. It's something to do. It's like a hobby or pastime for myself, actually. We've been best friends since like Nam, which is throwing it back. We didn't fight together though, but we have been best friends for a long time. And her parents are basically my second parents, not gonna lie to you. But there's a lot of things to make fun of her. She's the clumsiest person that I've ever met. Her and Tony Marie have the title there. Okay, I'm gonna start off. I have two stories for you guys, 2 out of like 1,012. Promposals are a big thing when it comes to graduating. People do it from romantic things like top of the Eiffel Tower, Rebecca, and to cute things, whatever you want to do. It's getting up there with like proposals, like that one, but these are just getting cuter in my eyes. But so me and Sydney were driving, burning gas, killing the ecosystem like usual, and Shirley paid for it, God love her. And we were going around, and she looks at me and says, "Steven, you're best friends with Curtis. How am I gonna ask him to grad?" And Curtis had no idea at the time. I don't know if I was one of the only few people that knew, but I said, "I don't know, he's nerdy, he likes Pokemon and Lord of the Rings." And she said, stop, Pokemon. Like the first episode, I Choose You, when Ash picks Pikachu, we all know that because that was a classic. And he picks Pikachu, and the episode is called I Choose You, Pikachu. And so inside, Eric Burry, Sydney got a loan of, well, we can call it a loan, but Sydney got a loan of Eric's Pokeball that opens up, there's some Pokemon in there, and inside of it said, I choose you for grad, or want to go to grad together, or something like that. We were outdoors at the town center, in the parking lot, we all parked in the theater, where everyone's parked right now probably, and we were tossing around the football. And we were tossing it back and forth, and it was 9 o'clock at night, so our vision is keen, clearly, or we're just stupid, I can't tell. And Sydney takes out her Pokeball and says, "Kurt, go along." It goes about 12 feet over Curtis's head. Curtis goes, "Wait, what?" Well, and then he hears, and we're like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." And everyone here is playing football. I'm pretending I have no idea what's on the go. Everyone's playing football. Everyone knows by now except Curtis. And I wasn't there exactly because it was I felt secondhand embarrassed. But what Sydney had to do, Sydney had to pick up pieces of the Pokeball, the broken toy from Eric, and explain to Curtis what was on the go and asked if he wanted to go to grad with her. Luckily it was a yes, thank God. So good job, Sydney. I played catcher with her brother too. It's hereditary. They have no idea what they're doing. And also another story is Sydney's been on the ball hockey team also since Nam, along with myself. We were in Sheshashi last year, so like a great hand for me and for Sydney and myself. And Sydney was in net, and we were the guys were watching, and I remember seeing Sydney's first goal. You know, you ever watch Hockey Night in Canada? It's a real greasy one that like tipped off, and you're like, oh my god, that sucked. But it's a goal's a goal, right? And it was 3-2. Shesh leading over Churchill. It was intense. Sydney scores her first goal. Big goal. Kind of decided the game. Ball's rolling towards her 2 kilometers an hour. Sydney goes, I got it! Tips off her stick, goes in the net. Oh. Dang. But like, a goal is a goal, I guess. I mean, congrats. Yikes. And that's kind of it for now. If you guys ever want to call me, I can make fun of Sydney whenever you want. But this is it for now, because of the time regulations. So I'm going to pass on my microphone. I'm making fun of like 4 or 5 people tonight, so I'm going to pass my phone on to Mackenzie, who wants to make fun of some people.
Want me to sing or something while she's getting ready? Here's my verse, just a warning.
As you may be able to tell from my suave attire, I am Steven tonight. So Sydney asked me yesterday, can you get up on stage and make fun of Steven? Don't worry though, I watered my hands so I wouldn't forget. Steven, one of his biggest talents, a lot of people know, he can speak amazing French. You could say he's kind of a gal talenteuse. Yeah. Well, did you know that French was actually the language of love? Last year, when we went to Europe for school, on the last day of the Europe trip, Steven made a big plan to ask Rebecca to grad on the top of the Eiffel Tower. So the plan was all beautiful, right? I mean, he had this huge plan planned out. If anyone who knows Stephen, he's a huge flag fanatic. So he wrote, "Will you go to Grad with me, Ducky?" on the France flag. And then right below it, of course, he had to have the French translation of that. So they're at the top of the Eiffel Tower. He's holding up the flag. He said, "Rebecca, come over here and take a picture of me with this flag." So he's getting ready to pull out the flag. Rebecca's getting ready to take the picture. And as she finally reads it, she's like, "Oh my God," starts freaking out. Of course, she said yes. And it was this beautiful romantic moment. Good job, Steve. Until this large security guard comes out and says, "Monsieur, you cannot do that. You can't deface the France flag. And you can't fly flags on top of the Eiffel Tower, apparently."
Apparently that's a rule, it's stupid.
Stephen was mortified. He was asking, why is that a rule? He's like, "You cannot do this, you cannot do this." So, I mean, very fast he hid away the flag, and that was all fine. But, yeah, I mean, everyone thinks Stephen's this great, romantic, social guy, but he's also a criminal in another country. So, yeah. I'll pass the microphone on to someone else.
Hi. So we all know Emma Huzzy. She's a pretty quiet girl. So I was like, I got Emma. And I'm like, oh, Emma has nothing embarrassing. So anyway, well, one time we went to Europe last year, and the first place we went to was Switzerland. So anyway, me and Emma were at a restaurant eating in Switzerland. All chill, was fine. Until this Swiss waitress starts running over and she starts freaking out in German. We were like, what is going on? Turns out Emma's hair was in a candle, burning. So then the waitress proceeds to come over and just take scissors and cut off the burnt hair that Emma had. But luckily Emma has such beautiful long hair that I didn't even tell.
Extremely small bladders. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of these people, and so is Mackenzie Rose. So one I'm gonna make fun of her for is her small bladder. So basically, every time we go on some kind of trip somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's 40 kilometers or 200, we have to stop so she can use the bathroom. It could be in the school bus heading over to Lab City, or in a tour bus in Europe, anywhere. So this one time in Quebec, this was 2 summers ago, we're making this big trip, we're on our way to Montreal from Quebec City.